Assalamualaikum, this is Fahad again with a video. This time the video is all about economics. 2281. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel and share this video with those of you who are doing all of this economics or IGCSE economics. So let's start the video. The topic for today's video is economics 2281, and we are just talking about the factors of production, which is the most important topic in our syllabus, and we have to just go through this because there are multiple MCQs. There are questions in the paper 2 of O levels economics. Okay, and MCQs is paper 1. I know. I hope you know this very well. But we have started this thing in the first chapter that resources are limited and wants are unlimited. Okay, resources are limited, but wants are unlimited. This is very important. What do we call this? We call this as basic economic problem. So when we talk about the resources thing, we talk about this, that resources are factors of production. Okay, basic economic problem. And resources are factors of production. So we talk about this resources and factors of production. So these factors of production are, how many are these? Factors of production are 4. CELL is the acronym which is used for this. So let me explain the 4 factors of production first, then we'll move forward. Land, which is natural resources, all the natural resources which are used by the nature, which are acquired by the nature. Sorry. So if we talk about the examples, air, sunlight, and if we talk about further, so the coal and water, and these all things are from the nature part. If we talk about the labor, so if we talk about labor, we say that it is the physical and mental efforts of human beings. Physical and mental efforts of human beings. Efforts of human beings. So this is very important. Maybe a manager is making some mental efforts. A labor who is just a waiter over in an organization, in a restaurant. So maybe that person is doing some physical work. So the third thing will be capital, which means that man-made tools, which will be acquired by the business, man-made tools, which mostly includes the machines. Okay, so whatever machines we have, we just talk about that as capital. And the last thing is entrepreneur, which is less people are just willing to take risk, a risk-taking individual. Okay, a risk-taking individual. So I hope I'm able to explain all the 4 the factors of production, which are the resources ultimately, and we talk about that in a very detailed manner still. Okay, so let's move forward. So in this chapter, we will be talking about the occupational mobility and the geographical mobility. So when we have established what are factors of production, so we talk about the geographical mobility and occupational mobility for these factors of production. What do I mean by the occupational mobility of these factors of production? Occupational mobility means that can this thing be used for another purpose? If we talk about land, let's suppose land is being used for what we can say for some sort of vegetables. Okay, so can we use those that land for the fruits purposes? Yes, we can use that. Or maybe we could use that land for maybe establishing a factory for that. So again, the occupational mobility, that means the purpose, the work which is carried out on that particular land is possible. So we can say that land is occupationally mobile. What word do we use in our answers? We say it is occupational mobile. Okay, which means that land is able to be switched from one purpose to another purpose and from another purpose to another purpose further. So we could just change that. But if we talk about geographical mobility, it means can the land be carried away from one place to another place? No, we cannot carry the land. So if we talk about land geographical mobility, so we can say it is geographically immobile. What is that? It is geographically immobile, which means that land cannot be moved from one place to another place. Again, you cannot say that I have to move my home, I have to move my house from one place to another place. It's not possible. You cannot just take the patch of that land and go somewhere else. So we established this thing that land is occupational mobile, but land is geographically immobile. Let's talk about the second factor, which is labor. If you talk about labor, can the labor do one task or more than one task, or can the labor switch its skills? Obviously, the labor can switch its skills. Maybe there is a person who is just doing some softwares, making some softwares. Okay, so softwares building. If we talk about that, So if some person is doing some softwares, making some software, so maybe that person can be involved in teaching. So this is altogether completely different industry. This is corporate sector, and this is school side, maybe, if you could say that. So this means that occupational mobile, a person can switch its type of role. A person can do more than one role. A person can go from one task to another task. So that's very important. That's very possible in this scenario. So labor, we could say, it is occupationally mobile. Okay, occupationally mobile. So whenever we write our answer, we say that occupational mobile. The logic behind this is that persons can switch between tasks and between jobs. So if we talk about labor as geographical mobility, can the labor travel from one place to another place? Yes, the labor can travel from one place to another place. So it is also geographical mobile. Okay, so we establish this thing because one person can travel from one place to another place, but again, considering the situation, the things are quite easy. Okay, so then the third thing becomes, is the capital. Is the capital means machines. Can the machines switch from one role to another role? Yes, it all depends. It all depends. There are certain machines which can be switched. There are certain machines which cannot be switched. But majority of times machines are fixed. Let's suppose if we talk about the printers. So those printers are just required to just take out prints. If we just keep it at home, so it is for the personal purpose. But if we keep it at a shop for a commercial purpose, so we can just switch that. But again, we cannot say this thing that capital is occupationally mobile, because we cannot just establish this thing again and again that things can be switched between one place to another place. That's not possible. So we cannot say that it is occupationally mobile, because certain machines are fixed. So it all depends on the question, which question you are attempting in answer. So it all depends on that. But if you talk about capital as geographically mobile, so yes, capital is geographical mobile, because this is not possible. Occupation mobile, it's not possible. I already explained, but capital is geographically mobile depending on the machine. Okay, depending on the machine. Let's suppose if it's a very huge thing. If it's a machine which is very difficult to transport from one place to another place, then it's very difficult. So again, these both things, if we talk about the occupational mobility and the geographical mobility, it depends. Okay, we cannot just establish this thing that it's not possible. There's no fixed answer for that. It all depends. And the last thing is entrepreneur. If we talk about entrepreneur, can the entrepreneurs be occupationally mobile? Yes, they are occupationally mobile. Maybe today I have to start a hospital. So maybe tomorrow may I could just open an school. So that's very important, and that's very easy. So geographical mobility will be talking shortly, but occupationally it is mobile. And I given you the logic that there are certain occupations which can be switched between by the entrepreneurs. But if we talk about the geographical mobility, can a person go from one place to another place? Yes, it can go from one place to another place. So entrepreneurs do have geographical mobility too. Okay, so it is also possible for entrepreneurs to go from one place to another place. So this means entrepreneurs are geographically mobile and occupationally mobile too. Then the last thing which is very important is, sorry, not last, but second last, which is quantity and quality of FOPs, which is factors of production. So if we talk about the quality of factors of production, how the land can be improved. The land can be improved by use of fertilizers, by using certain machines, certain things which improve the quality of land, so that more can be produced by the land. What if we talk about the labor? How the labor could be improved? The quality of labor. Again, trainings, experience, and practice. Practice by supervision and feedback. And these all things are very important. So capital, if we talk about capital, the quality of capital, that means more investment in good technology and good advanced technology. And the last thing is entrepreneur is important. Can the quality of entrepreneurs increase? Yes, they can be increased by conferences, seminars where they explain that how the businesses could be run in a better manner. So if we talk about the quantity, How the quantity of land be increased? No, quantity of land cannot be increased. Okay. So because again there is a limit to what we have. Okay, there is a limit to what we have. There is a territory which is defined already, so we cannot improve the quantity of land. Yes, we can improve the quality of land, but we cannot improve the quantity of land because land is limited. But if we talk about the business, so maybe we have one factory. So maybe if we just take another factory, okay, if we take another factory on rent, so this is important. But again, remember one thing, that factory is termed under capital. If we talk about the MCQs, so they always categorize factory under capital. Why? Because there are machines in a factory. Okay. So maybe the quantity of land cannot be improved, but to a certain extent it can be improved, because again the factories are there. If you establish a factory and if you just get one factory more, with the example, with the help of more rent which is to be paid by the business, so then it can be said, this can be established, that land can be increased. Okay. So if we talk about labor, what about the labor? Can the quantity of labor be improved? Yes. The school leaving age need to be reduced, it should be reduced. Okay. And if we talk about the population, if the population is increasing, so the quantity of labor is is increasing, because more people will be coming. And the working age of people, if there is more labor under the working age, so quantity of labor can be improved. Then we talk about the capital thing, that may the capital can be improved. Yes. Again, the capital, the machines could be improved by investment in those machine, by investing your amounts in those machines. Okay. So maybe you invest some amount in new technology, so you could improve your capital, you could improve your machinery. And the last thing is entrepreneurs. Again, it could all depend on the conferences and the seminars. So yes, we can establish, I think, that the quantity of entrepreneurs can be increased, because more people, when they are willing to take risks, they can be increased. So the last thing is, which is very important, and in the end of this, we need to conclude this lesson, which is rewards for factors of production. Okay, rewards for factors of production. So this is very important, that what are the rewards, what things do we get from the factors of production. So if we talk about land, labor, capital, and the last thing is entrepreneur, which is the risk taking individual. So for the land, the reward becomes rent. Okay. For the labor, the reward becomes wages. For the capital, if you consider it that this is an interest, this is a loan which is given by the business, so which is taken by the business, so the reward becomes interest. Okay, the interest which has to be paid. And the last thing is entrepreneur, which means profit is important for the entrepreneur. So I hope I've explained very well. If there's any question, you can just comment below, share this video with your friends, and those who are doing O-levels, IDCS Economics. If there is any question you could ask me, you could just go to Facebook and just search Fahad Ali, and you can just like that. And on my Instagram page, you could also follow me, Fahad Ali 175. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe, because there will be few further videos which will be coming for Pakistan studies, economics, business studies, and accounting. So do subscribe this channel, like, comment, and share. Okay. So I'll see you again in the next video. If there is any suggestion from your side, I'll just most welcome about that suggestion, and see you again in the next video. Goodbye.